Mr. Zoyeb. Zoyeb sir is an assistant professor of zoology at New College in Chennai, a place that also holds his alma mater pride. With over 7 years of teaching experience and currently pursuing a part-time Ph.D., he has not only contributed several academic papers to the field, but also embodies perseverance and resilience. Mr. Zoyeb's journey is as inspiring as it is challenging. As a child, he was an avid footballer, swimmer, and speaker, full of promise and energy. However, during his school years, his life took an unexpected turn when he began experiencing a sudden loss of limb coordination and other neurological symptoms. Diagnosed with a rare condition known as undiagnosed ataxia, Zoyab has faced the challenges of slurred speech, sluggish eye movements, and a dependency on support for simple tasks such as walking. Despite these hurdles, though, he has successfully managed his responsibilities, including delivering oral lectures and continuing his passion for zoology. His story is not just one of personal triumph in academia, but also a beacon of hope for those facing similar struggles. Alongside his professional pursuits, Mr. Zoyeb actively volunteers at rare disease events, sharing his journey to motivate and empower others. His resilience is a testament to the strength that comes from perseverance, support, and an unwavering passion for life. We are honored to have Mr. Zoyeb join us for this insightful session on the World Rare Diseases Day. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Zoyeb, sir.
Hello everyone, good morning. Just give me 1 second. I will come.
Please note that after his talk, we'll also have a short Q&A session where you can ask him questions. So hold on to your questions until after he's finished. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Zoyeb Mohamed. As she had introduced me, I am working as an assistant professor in New College. So here, basically, I'll start my story with my journey. As she mentioned earlier, my journey started as a normal kid. Up to about 13 or 14 years old, I was very normal. Like any normal kid, I was running around playing. I used to play football. I was a swimmer. I was basically an extrovert. Then, around 15 years of age, my problem started. So basically, they just started with loss of balance, and it was like small missteps and bumping into things, falling over, all small things. So I overlooked it for some time, and then problems grew. They became big, and finally things became bad for me. So throughout my journey, firstly in the school, first when these things started popping up, I became a little more introverted and tried to hide it from everyone. I sort of built up the mentality that I could do it on my own. I didn't want anybody to help me or feel sympathy or feel sorry for me. That again connects back to one of the missions of your group, Unnathi group. So you talked about those 3 points like personal intervention, community intervention, and what is the third one?
Purpose. Intervention of
Yeah,
purpose.
purpose intervention. Those three interventions I feel are very important. Like I can say my journey has definitely not been smooth, but not very bumpy too. But I did have my ups and downs throughout my journey, and things got difficult at times. but I feel that it could have been much more easier if I had been open, like straight away. If I had started, uh, one problem there was, back in those days, around 20 years or 15 years ago, there were not much of these type of groups. So there was not much of no social activity, not much of publicizing these rare diseases and all that. So when I got that rare disease, I was like all alone. Nobody even knew what it was. So I had to build up kind of a rapport with everyone, and make sure that everyone around me at some level, at least, if not fully, at some level, they knew that I was disabled and I might require help. So as I said, during my school, that was one of the mistakes I made. Like, I didn't start off early, or immediately as my rare disease stuck, I didn't start off. I had one mental blockage at that time, and I wanted to cut myself off from everyone. So I feel that that is one mistake which can be avoided by people with, especially people with rare diseases, or diseases which people might not know about. Regarding this, that is actually a African proverb, old proverb, which you might have heard. It says that uh, it takes a village to raise a child. It's actually talking about that mentality of the whole community coming together to help one person. So it works both ways. It not only takes the village to take care of the child, but the child should uh, let people know that he actually requires some help, and he's open to receiving help. So once you let people know that you are eligible for, you are actually accepting of the help. Like, in some cases, you might have seen people, even while saying no, there is one that is actually a good way of saying no, and probably a wrong way or bad way of saying no. One is, you can just say no, I don't want it. Or other ways, you can kindly say, not right now, I am able to do it myself. Like, for example, if I'm on my wheelchair and I'm pushing it around, and somebody comes to push the wheelchair, some people immediately get like defensive, when uh, their facial expression will change, and they'll act like they don't want you to touch them or something like that. So that will just put off the person who's trying to help. So next time what happens is, he will not help you. Definitely he will not help you, but he might not help other people also. Whereas a few people might actually need the help, but because you tell them some 2 or 3 times, you tell them straight away no, he might think that it is something bad to help someone on a wheelchair, or like that. So first, in my school, I built up a, a network of people around me, like all my teachers and my friends, and everyone. Definitely, when you're open to receiving help, everyone is willing to contribute. Like, in some way, teachers help me with extra uh, coaching, extra tuitions, or giving me notes. The friends help me move around the school, like play games with them. Even if I couldn't actually physically get involved in the game, they made sure that I was involved. At least they'll make me sit somewhere, watch the game, or they'll tell me to cheer for them. They'll tell me to hold the ball or something like that. At least make me feel involved in some way. So that was my school. Uh, uh, with the help of all these people around me, I could finish school. I finished 12th also, again with some people telling me like, because when my rare disease actually started popping up, it was time for my board exam. So some people, not with the bad intention or wanting bad for me or anything like that, they told me that you could take some time off, uh, freshen your mind, change your mindset, and then go attempt the board exam. But my mentality at that time was, even if even if I was to fail in the exam, I wanted to give an attempt at least, like try. So uh, again, one more thing in that. So not always aim for perfection. Like some people have that mentality of uh, you go 100%. That is, you either get uh, you either know that you're going to succeed or you don't try at all. That is actually, I feel, one bad mentality. So you have to know that perfection is not possible all the time. Perfection is not like something which you need to aim every time. You just need to aim to try. You need to aim to give it your best. Uh, like, even if you know that it is not going to be 100%, in your mind and in your heart, you are satisfied that you gave it your best. Whether you pass or you fail is secondary. So, one more thing I had heard long time back in my school about sports is, the first important thing is the participation, not whether you win or you lose. You just participate in that sport. You obviously have only three winners, because there are going to be three winners. uh, does it mean that you are not even going to participate in that race? So even if you know that you have a chance, you have to participate. Like, it becomes your what to say, your right. No one can say that, like, some people, even if they don't want to discourage you directly or talk bad about you, they'll say that, why do you want to try that 10 all? It is waste. You won't be able to do anything. If I don't try at all, how do I know that I won't be able to do anything? So with that mentality, I went for my boards and I cleared my 12th board, and straight away I joined my college where I work now. I joined for BSc. Again, BSc is like a little light on the workload. So BSc, again, with a lot of support, everyone supporting me, I cleared it. I cleared my BSc. And then when time came for MSc, again, some people started with those talks, like, why do you want to try that? It's going to be very hard and all that. But my mind was again set. Uh, I I knew that I might not really excel in it, but I knew that I was not going to fail miserably. I knew that it was worth a try, so I attempted, and I finished my MSc also. Then, under similar conditions, I finished my MSc. Then, finally, I'm here appointed as an assistant professor in this same college where I started my BSc. I finished my full studies. Now I am working as a professor there, and Also, I am doing my PhD, part-time PhD. So I work as well as I do research. Now, in this story, for this whole journey of mine, I try to say one small parable, and uh, so the parable is a small story. And after the story, I'd like you to guess if you can guess the moral of the story. So again, it is a very simple story. You might have heard it long back. So the story goes like, in one old well, there were about 10 or 15 frogs. And every time a frog starts climbing up to get out of the well, so from the bottom he's climbing up the well, and the frogs at the bottom, they start telling that the well is too high and wall is slippery, you won't be able to climb that. What will you do if you climb up and all that? And the frog will fall down. So this happened for many years. Some frog will try to climb. From down, everyone will start saying something and he will fall down. Then one day, one frog started climbing. He was climbing, 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 and finally he went out of the well, and he lived happily in that whatever swamp or marsh or whatever was outside the well. So, can you guess why the frog was able to go? Anyone? Can you guess why he was able to go?
The
Yeah,
frogs.
I could connect your story to a proverb I heard in my childhood. It says,
Yeah.
try again till you succeed.
Yes, yes, exactly. So it links to that proverb, but it's not exactly the proverb. Uh, can you
know
guess?
the answer. I know the answer. Can I try?
Yeah, 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 please.
The frog was deaf.
Yes,
Or
exactly. The frog
hearing
was deaf.
impaired.
He couldn't
And
hear. Yeah,
yes, all
please.
the discouragements.
Yes, the frog was deaf and he couldn't hear all the discouragement. Like he was climbing, and what happened previously was whenever the frogs climb, they will start discouraging from the bottom, and all that discouragement, like you have one mindset. If you're starting with some work, you have a mindset already built, and then with the continuous discouragement which the people around you, again, they might not be wishing bad for you, or they might not be bad people or anything. They are just telling their point of view. So all that discouragement, eventually what it will do is it will corrupt your mindset and it won't let you succeed. So what do you think is the moral?
Listen to negative feedback.
Yeah, exactly. So that is going to be negative feedback wherever you are in, whichever environment you are, you're going to have discouragement. But the thing is, you don't have to take in everything that they say. Like there are 1,000 opinions. It's not essential for you to listen to all of them. You can filter out whatever you want, and you can listen to whatever you want. Okay, so now just one more small story I'll tell you, just opposite of this, but with a similar moral of the story. So the story is called uh, Stone Soup. Have you heard of this? Stone Soup? Anyone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, can you tell me that?
No, I don't remember the exact detail, but I remember the phrase
Yeah,
stone soup.
yeah. So again, from that word stone soup itself, what can guess what it will be? So someone is trying to make a soup with nothing but stones. So a person is having nothing. The story goes like a person is he was traveling somewhere from one village to other village, and he didn't have anything to eat or anything to drink. So he sat near on riverside or lakeside, and what he did was he just took some water and some uh, pebbles, like the stones on the riverside. He took and he put it in a bowl, and he started. He made a fire and he started cooking that water inside. I mean, boiling the water just with stones inside, pebbles. So some people passing by, they asked him, "What is this?" He told them it is stone soup. So they said, "We have some pepper with us, pepper or salt. Can we add to your soup?" He said, "Yes, please, you can add." So they added salt and pepper. Then, after some time, again, few more people came. They asked, "What is this?" She again said, "This is stone soup." They said, "We are having some turmeric powder. Can we add it to this?" He said, "Yes, please." So they added turmeric. Same way other people came, they kept adding things, like someone added carrot, someone added what do you call that, green chili, someone added something else, something else, something else. So it went on like that, and finally he started with nothing in his world, just water and stones. So everyone gave him something, and he took people's things, added in his bowl, and it became one proper soup, proper meal for him. So uh, that was the story. What do you think is the moral? Just opposite of that previous story. So the moral here would be that everyone is having something to offer. It's not like this guy is, some people might straight away reject someone. If someone is telling something, like he has opinion, and you might say that that guy is waste. I don't want that guy's opinion. You don't know what that guy's opinion will do. So here the main model would be that everyone who's giving you, who has an opinion, he actually has something to offer, and you can't just disregard whatever, uh, like whatever they want to contribute. So here in this journey so far, these three small stories that I said. So here the main takeaways I would like to give would be, the first thing is that like they say, no man is island. What do you understand by that? No man is island.
Live in this world alone.
Yeah, all alone. Like you have seen islands, they're like somewhat like all alone in the center of a no man's land. They are surrounded by nothing at all. They are not connected to everyone. So in life, it is better that you understand earlier, particularly if you have somewhat like a rare condition, or maybe any disability, particularly in those cases, you have to understand that it is very difficult, almost impossible to handle it on your own. Maybe at small level or whatever level it is, you need to have people around you. You need to be connected with people. So here the first lesson I would give is uh, it is very difficult and almost impossible to do it on your own. It is always better to connect with people, have people around you. Then the second takeaway here I'd like to give is from that frog story, is that you are definitely going to have lot of discouragement around you whenever you start something, and it is up to you how you handle it. Like if someone says it is not possible, it is not important that you have to listen to him or you have to do what he says. There are going to be many more opinions, and you get to choose and pick what opinions you want to follow. And the third main important takeaway I'd like to give is from that uh, soapstone story. So, from that model, one takeaway I would like to give is everyone, no matter who he is, no matter he's a small child or very old person or whoever it is, they do have something to offer. You might think that their opinions are of no use or they can't contribute anything to your problem, no matter what your problem. Like I have seen sometimes, even in very complex situations, like complex problems, sometimes as a teacher I have seen, so in case of very complex problem, sometimes even the students, like they've just come in, you might think that they don't know anything, they can't help with this problem. Suddenly that student will be able to give you an idea, like from where you didn't expect, you can get help. So you should always be open to help. Okay. And one more thing I'd like to say. One second, I'll be back. Just on my no. Okay. And one more thing I'd like to say is you have to be like confident on your ability, even like any disabled people here. How many of you disabled? Is anyone? Okay, so what I want to say is, even if you're disabled, disability is what? Like you've lost some ability. You do have a ability in you. You have to be more confident about your ability than depressed about your disability. Disability is just something happened. Like you've lost some ability, maybe ability to walk or something like that. But what about all your other abilities? They are intact. Like, for example, your ability to speak, to uh, give presentations or make notes or whatever. You know, you have certain abilities. So you have to concentrate more on your abilities. Like, for example, even uh, when I have to go somewhere, maybe I'm attending a conference abroad or I have to go to some other college, or I have to go to some other country, I have to go to some other state, whatever it is, wherever I go, the only issue I'll face is like someone physically pushing me. Again, that is a place where these interventions that you talked about, they come into play, like interventions to sensitize them to make ramps and smooth floors and reduce the number of stairs, bring lifts, and all that. So those are just like interventions. Those are what are kept to help you. You have the ability to go and speak, to go and give the lecture, or make a presentation, whatever. The only difficulty you'll have is getting there. The venue, will have a ramp, like it will have lift. Uh, they might have trained personals. Again, if people like you intervene, they give them the right education and all that. They'll have volunteers to help people with disabilities, like push their wheelchair or hold the door when they're going inside. All that they can help. But once you're on the stage, once you're on the podium, it's all up to your ability. So here it is like you give a equal playing field, one playing field for everyone. Only the initial part is a hiccup for you. Coming there is the only hiccup for you. Once you're there, you're equal to anyone. Like in my case, I am on a wheelchair and giving a lecture, and one more person is standing and giving a lecture. What is the difference between two people? Same thing, he's also giving a lecture. He's giving a good lecture. I'm also giving a good lecture. I'm just seated on a wheelchair. Only difference is I had some difficulty coming on the stage. He came on the stage without difficulty. Maybe he just came in walking or whatever. It was easier for him. It was more difficult for me. So once we are on the stage, we are all equal. That is my main message here. I'd like to thank your foundation, the Unnathi Foundation. Those three interventions that you talked about, they were like extremely essential. I feel very happy that you have it now. Sometime back, we didn't have it. Like when I was starting off, it was maybe you had one or two at the, like, very difficult to search and all that. But now, because of you, because people like you are actually, you talked about your community intervention. I feel that is very important. You are actually uh, educating the entire community how to handle the disabled people. Like, even if some people have the good intention to help, but they don't have the knowledge to help, how are they going to help? So I feel that your intervention in groups like you are very important in this field. And finally, I'll end with the same thing I said earlier about concentrating on your ability. Even if you're disabled, you overlook your disability, concentrate on your ability, and you'll be able to achieve whatever you want. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience and your stories and your thoughts. We can ask you any questions now. If we have, we'll do a short question and answer session.
So thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
My
can hear.
voice is very rough. Thank you so much for the stories and your story. It's very encouraging to me. I wanted to say we have disabled people, but it
Yeah.
takes time to switch the buttons for me. So I couldn't say I am one of them. But I do agree that until I accepted that I'm disabled, I did not know that I could do something about it. So
Yeah.
you are
Again, so as you say, acceptance that
yeah,
you are disabled, that is again one important point. First thing I feel is you have to mentally prepare yourself.
yeah,
You have to be strong that yes, I am like this only, but I do have dreams, I do have hopes, and
yeah.
I will achieve it.
And so my question to you is, it's been so many years. How do you keep motivating yourself?
Again, so as I said, motivation is more about yourself than others. Uh, you do you do need the external support. Like I said, uh, there are going to be negative comments, but you build up your mindset. It's more to do about your mindset than about others.
Sure,
If you have the positive mindset, you are motivated always. That's what I feel.
thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I read that your family was a great support, especially your dad. Can you tell us how family support is?
Yeah, my dad, uh, what I can say is he's been a total all-round support for me, like physical support, mental support, psychological support. Like like I told you in the starting days when I was beginning to close myself off and like I didn't want to talk to anyone or tell anyone I had this problem. He was a maybe he was the first person who actually convinced me to open up and link up with people. Actually, tell them that uh, this what is wrong with me and all that. And on the physical side, yes, always he has been my physical support. Like right from the school days, he used to I can't walk without support. I need someone to hold me while I'm walking. So he actually left his job at that time. He was like at a very big post and he was a very busy person at that time. So in my school days, starting school days, like fourth standard, fifth standard and all, he was like very busy to even come to school. Like he can't even sit with me and do my homework. Like you have those scenes where fathers sit with small children and do their homework and all. He was very busy to do anything like that. Mm. But then when my problem actually started, so he figured out little earlier than everyone in the house. I actually hid it for a long time so that no one in my house came to know. But my father, he figured out early itself that that is something wrong with me. So what he said was, he told me, whatever you need, whatever support you need, I'll be there. Then he quit his job and he became full-time support for me. Like even till now, he goes like part-time. He'll come back whenever I call him. Physically, he's always present. He's one call away. If I just call him, I I want to go there or I want to come here, he'll come with me. Like I even recently went to China and came back. It was like a 4 day or 5 day trip. It was. He canceled everything, all his plans, all his work, everything. He canceled and he came only to support me. So he's been physical support for me right from school up to now, like physically holding me, taking me places everywhere, class, canteen, shopping, whatever. He'll physically come with me. And more than physical is very important, but more than that, he has been there for me psychologically. He understands my mentality and he knows how to handle things at the right time and what to do in certain situations. Like earlier, I used to have mild cases of mood swings. Like suddenly I'll get angry and I'll shout at people and all that. So uh, it was very soothing, very comforting to have one person who would understand the problem actually. So my father has been there for me always, and my family also. They've been similarly supporting me throughout.
Thank you, Zee. Any other questions? Uh, Rebecca, ma'am, you're on mute.
Zoyeb, I'm
Yeah,
Sydney from Hubli, and very, very happy to hear your life journey. And you'll be a great inspiration. In fact, the from looking at you, I could say that your wisdom is far beyond your years. You seem very young, but the words of wisdom that you shared for people with disability is just way beyond your years. And thank you so much for being an inspiration. And
thank
thanks and hats off to your dad also, who sacrificed his career to look
yeah,
after you and to help you. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. God bless you and take care of you.
yeah, thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah, and one more thing I'd like to say about my dad is, uh, ever since I got this condition, ever since I started to have problems, he has been very much involved in the rare disease sector. Like you might have read somewhere that I volunteer in rare disease events and all that. My father is the one who started with all of those. Like he has a huge network of rare disease communities, and he's the one who's been actually motivating me and pushing me to actually take part in all these rare disease events. Like they have marathons and runs and all that. I usually go there. Like if it's a race or a marathon, I don't take part in the race, but I'm there in the start line with what do you call it? the that uh, for the flag of event. They usually call me where I flag off the actual race and give some motivational talk or something like that. And all of this started because of my father's involvement in those things. And I'm actually happy that he got me involved in all of this. Yeah.
So you're part of an organization called Organization for Rare Diseases, right? What is that?
I'm actually not a part of that organization, but I've been involved like uh, this organization, ORDI, Organization for Rare Diseases in India. It is a kind of like a umbrella organization which unites like various researchers, particularly orphan drugs. You might have heard of this term, orphan drugs. So these are nothing but like drugs which are not very not very popular, not very much in the market. They might be able to partly cure, not cure, sorry, like they might be helpful in case of some rare diseases. But what happens is because they are not very popular, they are not in the market, and no one is manufacturing them. So you need someone to advocate for that drug. So one of the wings of this ORDI organization is they have like advocacy groups where they are advocating not only these uh, like like you mentioned your interventions uh, where you have like particular criteria for buildings like ramps should be of this length or it should be at this angle and what do you call that line that blind people they use a cane. There's one line and there are particular dimensions for that. All of that these guys are able to monitor because they also have advocacy groups apart from just like where they have marathon events or group meetings or picnics, outings, all that they do. That is more like just feel good and making the parents relaxed. Like obviously taking care of rare disease patients is somewhat stressful and straining and all that. So when you have activities like uh, group meetings or lunch or picnics or something like that, it is more to do with the relaxation and making them feel good. But the main activity of this organization is advocacy, both patient advocacy, uh, uh, advocacy on the part of the government. Like they have also been involved in few of these government bills where they had bills of lot of tax on rare diseases and they were blocking some of the drugs like they couldn't do some of the drug trials in India. All of that you needed some professional people to handle that. So their main activity is advocacy all around. And I am not part of that organization, but I have volunteered there and I have participated in few of their activities.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the questions, the participants, and thank you, sir, for sharing from your experience and with stories, especially. I think for me, something that really hit home was something that all of us can relate to is accepting help. I think all of us want to sort of be independent
Yes.
and that prevents us from receiving help. So thank you talking about that and your challenges and sharing your thoughts as well. Thank you everyone for coming also. We would like to continue to involve you all in our monthly meetings. So please feel free to share your feedback about today's session, as well as let us know if you want us to cover any particular issue or topics in the upcoming meetings. We'll keep you updated on all our upcoming programs. Please follow us and connect with us on social media. We'll share the IDs and handles on the chat box. Thank you all once again for coming. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next month.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.